Are you tired of trying everything to lose weight, but nothing seems to work? You've been counting calories, exercising, and maybe even cutting carbs, yet the scale refuses to budge. You've heard of insulin before, but what if I told you that understanding this one hormone could be the key to unlocking faster weight loss? That's right, most people miss this secret, and it's one of the main reasons they struggle with their weight. Stick around until the end, and I'll reveal a simple trick that 99% of people overlook that could help you lose weight faster than you thought possible. Now, let's dive into something that most weight loss guides won't talk about. You see, there's one factor that has a major influence on how your body burns fat, and it's not just about eating less or working out more. It's insulin. You've probably heard the term before, but what exactly does it have to do with weight loss? Insulin is a hormone produced by your pancreas, and its primary job is to help your body manage blood sugar levels. When you eat, especially foods that are high in sugar or carbs, your blood sugar levels rise. Your pancreas then releases insulin to help shuttle that sugar into your cells, where it can be used for energy or stored for later. Here's where the problem lies. When you're constantly spiking your insulin levels throughout the day, by eating sugary foods, processed carbs, or even by eating too frequently, you're essentially signaling your body to store fat, not burn it. This process is called insulin resistance. Over time, your cells become less responsive to insulin, and your pancreas has to release even more of it to get the same effect. The result? Higher insulin levels that promote fat storage and make it harder for your body to burn those fat reserves. So, if you've been struggling to lose weight, this could be the hidden culprit. But don't worry, there's a simple solution that could change everything. The good news is, once you understand how insulin works and what you can do to keep it in check, you can start burning fat more efficiently. Imagine this, instead of relying on willpower alone, you can use your body's natural processes to support your weight loss journey. By simply regulating insulin levels, you'll shift your body from fat storage mode to fat burning mode. And you don't need to follow extreme diets or complicated routines to make this happen. Here's a quick preview of what's coming up in this video. We'll be talking about how to regulate insulin levels using simple science-backed methods like intermittent fasting, adjusting your diet, and even making small changes to your daily routine. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to start making insulin work for you, not against you. So stay with me until the end, and I'll show you how to use this powerful tool to finally break through the weight loss plateau. Trust me, if you've been frustrated by your progress so far, this could be the breakthrough you've been looking for. Stick around, and you'll get the full step-by-step guide on how to use insulin to your advantage and lose weight faster than ever. Now, let's break down how insulin really affects your ability to lose weight. Most people think that weight loss is all about burning more calories than you consume, but there's a much deeper mechanism at play. When your insulin levels are consistently high, your body is not able to tap into its fat stores for energy. Instead, it's focused on storing fat. Essentially, your body is stuck in a mode where it's constantly holding on to excess fat, and that makes it much harder to lose weight. The key is understanding how insulin works and how you can manage it effectively to start burning fat. So why does this happen? The issue arises when your body becomes resistant to insulin. This is what's known as insulin resistance. And it happens when your cells stop responding well to insulin. As a result, your pancreas has to produce more and more insulin to try to keep your blood sugar levels in check. This constant surge of insulin has a direct impact on fat storage. When insulin is high, your body stores energy in the form of fat, especially around the belly. In fact, studies have shown that people with high insulin levels are more likely to have fat stored around their abdominal area, which is not just about appearance. It's also a major risk factor for various health issues like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. This is why so many people can't lose weight despite cutting calories or exercising. They're simply not addressing the root cause, high insulin levels. The problem is that insulin resistance doesn't happen overnight. It develops gradually over time, often as a result of poor diet, lack of exercise, or simply eating too frequently. But the good news is this is something you can control. You don't need to live with high insulin levels. By making a few lifestyle changes, you can start to lower your insulin levels and help your body. switch from fat storage to fat burning. One of the most powerful ways to regulate insulin is through intermittent fasting. Now, I know fasting might sound intimidating, but hear me out. When you fast, your insulin levels naturally decrease, and your body begins to burn fat for fuel instead of relying on sugar. This happens because when you don't eat for a period of time, your body uses up its stored sugar glycogen and then starts to burn fat for energy. This process is not only effective for weight loss, but it also helps your body become more sensitive to insulin, which means it works more efficiently when you do eat. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting can reduce insulin levels by up to 30% in just a few weeks. That's a huge shift for your body. Another effective way to lower insulin levels is by adopting a low-carb diet. Carbs are the main trigger for insulin production. When you eat foods high in sugar or refined carbohydrates, your blood sugar spikes and so does your insulin. But when you cut back on carbs, especially refined ones, you reduce the need for insulin. A low-carb diet allows your body to burn fat instead of sugar, which is exactly what you want when you're trying to lose weight. Research has shown that reducing carbs can significantly lower insulin levels and improve fat burning, especially for people with insulin resistance. This doesn't mean you have to give up all carbs entirely, but focusing on healthy, complex carbs like vegetables, legumes, and whole grains can make a big difference. Exercise also plays a crucial role in managing insulin levels. When you engage in physical activity, your body becomes more sensitive to insulin. This means that your cells are able to use insulin more effectively, allowing for better blood sugar control and improved fat burning. The good news is that you don't have to be a gym rat to benefit from exercise. Even moderate activities like walking, cycling, or resistance training can improve insulin sensitivity. In fact, research has shown that just 30 minutes of moderate exercise a few times a week can have a significant impact on lowering insulin levels and improving your metabolism. But let's talk about another important aspect, the foods you eat. While cutting carbs is important, it's just as crucial to include the right kinds of foods in your diet that actively help lower insulin levels. Some of the best foods for managing insulin include non-starchy vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and fiber-rich foods. Foods like leafy greens, avocados, and fatty fish are excellent choices for stabilizing insulin and promoting fat loss. These foods not only help regulate insulin, but also provide important nutrients your body needs to function optimally. On the flip side, foods that are high in sugar and refined carbs, like sugary snacks, soda, and white bread, can cause insulin levels to spike and promote fat storage. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if my insulin levels are high? The truth is, it's not always easy to tell just by looking in the mirror. However, there are some signs you can watch out for. If you find it difficult to lose weight, especially around your belly, or if you're dealing with constant fatigue, cravings, or hunger pangs even after eating, these could be signs of insulin resistance. The good news is you don't have to wait for these signs to worsen. By taking proactive steps to lower your insulin levels, you can start seeing results almost immediately. If you're serious about improving your insulin sensitivity, you can even track your blood sugar levels at home using a glucose monitor. This will give you a better understanding of how your body is responding to different foods and meals. Remember, the goal is not to completely eliminate insulin, but to regulate it effectively so that your body can use it to burn fat rather than store it. By managing your insulin levels through strategies like intermittent fasting, reducing carbs, exercising regularly, and choosing the right foods, you'll create an environment in your body that's optimized for fat loss. It's not about following the latest diet fad. It's about understanding how your body works and making small, consistent changes that have a big impact over time. In the next section, we'll explore more practical steps you can take to optimize your insulin levels and start losing weight faster. Stay with me until the end, and you'll have everything you need to get started on your journey to better health. So now that you understand how insulin works and why managing it is so crucial for weight loss, let's dive into the specific steps you can take to get your insulin levels under control. These steps are not about quick fixes or extreme diets. They're about making sustainable changes that can create lasting results. If you've been frustrated by stubborn weight, especially around your midsection, this is where it starts to get exciting. You're going to learn how to take control of your body's fat-burning process and actually start seeing the results you've been hoping for. First, let's talk more about intermittent fasting. By now, you might be wondering just how long you need to fast for to see real benefits. It's actually simpler than you might think. The goal of fasting is to give your body enough time to burn through its stored sugar and start tapping into fat reserves. The most popular method is the 16-8 approach, where you fast for 16 hours and eat within an 8-hour window. During those 16 hours, you're allowing your body to naturally lower its insulin levels, promoting fat burning. You don't have to go all out right away. Start with a 12-hour fast, then gradually increase the fasting window as your body adapts. You can drink water, black coffee, or herbal tea during your fasting hours, as long as you avoid anything with calories. Intermittent fasting isn't just about skipping meals. It's a way to give your body a break from constant insulin spikes. When you eat constantly, your insulin levels stay elevated. But fasting lets insulin levels drop, which allows your body to start burning fat instead of storing it. And it's not just about weight loss, it's about improving your overall health. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting can help improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and even lower your risk for chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes. The more consistent you are with intermittent fasting, the more your body becomes efficient at using insulin and burning fat. Alongside fasting, reducing your carbohydrate intake is one of the most powerful things you can do to lower insulin levels. Carbohydrates are broken down into glucose in your bloodstream, which triggers your pancreas to release insulin. The more carbs you consume, the more insulin your body needs to produce to manage the sugar in your blood. This is why reducing carbs, particularly refined carbs and sugar, can make a huge difference in how your body responds to insulin. When you cut down on high carb foods like white bread, pasta, sugary snacks, and soda, you are helping your body avoid insulin spikes and giving it the chance to burn fat instead. It's important to note that not all carbs are created equal. While refined carbs should be avoided, whole food sources of carbs like vegetables, legumes, and whole grains are much better for your body. These foods contain fiber, which slows down the absorption of sugar and prevents rapid insulin spikes. For example, instead of reaching for a sugary granola bar, try having a small serving of quinoa or a salad with leafy greens and avocado. These types of carbs provide a slow, steady release of energy without overwhelming your insulin system. Exercise is another key factor in improving insulin sensitivity. When you move your body, you increase the number of insulin receptors in your cells, making them more responsive to insulin. This means that your body is able to use glucose more effectively and is less likely to store it as fat. The great thing about exercise is that you don't need to spend hours at the gym to see benefits. Studies have shown that even moderate exercise, like walking for 30 minutes a day, can significantly improve insulin sensitivity. For even better results, consider adding resistance training or high-intensity interval training HIIT into your routine. These types of workouts are known to increase insulin sensitivity even more, helping your body burn fat more efficiently. But it's not just about what you cut out or what you add to your routine. It's also about how you time your meals. Eating smaller, more balanced meals throughout the day, rather than large, infrequent meals, can help keep your insulin levels stable. It's tempting to skip meals or go long periods without eating, but when you eat too little, your body can go into survival mode, and that can actually raise insulin levels in an attempt to conserve energy. On the other hand, eating too much at once causes a spike in insulin as your body tries to manage all the sugar coming in. The key is balance. Make sure you're eating nutrient-dense meals that include healthy fats, protein, and fiber to stabilize your blood sugar levels. There are also specific foods that are known to help regulate insulin. Foods rich in healthy fats, like avocados, olive oil, and fatty fish, are excellent choices. These fats help stabilize blood sugar and reduce insulin spikes. Likewise, foods that are high in fiber, such as leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, slow down the digestion of carbohydrates and promote steady energy release. Protein is another crucial factor, including lean protein sources like chicken, turkey, tofu, or eggs in your meals helps keep you feeling full and prevents the cravings that can lead to overeating and insulin spikes. Now, let's talk about the importance of sleep. Many people don't realize how much of an impact sleep has on insulin sensitivity. When you don't get enough rest, your body's ability to regulate blood sugar is compromised, and your insulin resistance can worsen. Lack of sleep also increases hunger and cravings, particularly for high-carb, high-sugar foods. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night to support healthy insulin levels and weight loss. If you find it difficult to sleep, try reducing screen time before bed, practicing relaxation techniques, or sticking to a consistent sleep schedule. Lastly, managing stress is just as important as diet and exercise when it comes to controlling insulin levels. Chronic stress increases the production of cortisol, a hormone that can raise blood sugar levels and promote fat storage. Find ways to manage stress that work for you, whether it's through meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, or spending time in nature. Reducing stress not only helps keep your insulin levels in check, but it also supports overall well-being and mental clarity. By following these steps, intermittent fasting, reducing carbs, exercising regularly, eating insulin, regulating foods, getting enough sleep, and managing stress, you be on your way to mastering your insulin levels and seeing real progress in your weight loss journey. It's not about quick fixes or fad diets. It's about making smart, sustainable choices that will help you feel better and look your best. Stick with it, and you'll start to notice the changes. It's time to take control of your body and let insulin work for you. As you continue on your journey to regulate insulin and lose weight, it's important to understand that small, consistent changes can have a profound impact. We've already covered how fasting, reducing carbs, and regular exercise can help improve insulin sensitivity, but now let's dive deeper into how you can fine-tune your lifestyle to support these changes. This isn't just about following a trend or adopting temporary habits. It's about creating a lifestyle that works with your body's natural rhythms and helps you become the healthiest version of yourself. First, let's focus on meal timing. Many people don't realize just how important when you eat can be for managing insulin levels. The timing of your meals can influence how your body processes sugar and how it reacts to insulin. Instead of eating large meals at irregular intervals throughout the day, it's better to focus on eating at regular times, especially within a set eating window, such as during intermittent fasting. This helps stabilize your blood sugar levels and prevents your body from constantly reacting to food by releasing insulin. By spacing your meals out properly, you allow your body to use the insulin it produces more efficiently. This doesn't mean you have to eat at exact times every day, but creating a routine that works for you and sticking to it will help improve insulin regulation. Another strategy to consider is eating more frequent, smaller meals instead of fewer large ones. This helps avoid the insulin spikes that come with overeating. When you eat a large meal, especially one that's high in carbohydrates, your blood sugar levels rise quickly, causing a significant release of insulin. However, when you eat smaller, more balanced meals throughout the day, your blood sugar rises more gradually, reducing the stress on your body's insulin response. These smaller meals should ideally include a good balance of protein, healthy fats, and fiber, all of which help slow the digestion of carbohydrates and prevent large insulin surges. This approach helps ensure your insulin stays at a more steady, controlled level. In addition to meal timing, the quality of your food plays a major role in managing insulin. As we discussed before, whole foods are your best friend when it comes to regulating insulin, but let's go deeper into why that is. Highly processed foods, especially those with added sugars and refined grains, are absorbed quickly by your body and cause a rapid increase in blood sugar. This leads to a spike in insulin. On the other hand, whole foods like vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats release their nutrients slowly into your bloodstream. This slow, steady release prevents insulin from being overwhelmed with the job of processing too much sugar at once. Foods rich in fiber, such as leafy greens, berries, and whole grains, are particularly beneficial. Fiber not only helps you feel full longer, but it also slows down sugar absorption, making it easier for your body to maintain steady insulin levels throughout the day. It's also important to incorporate foods that naturally support insulin sensitivity. For example, foods like cinnamon, apple cider vinegar, and even certain nuts like almonds have been shown to help improve insulin sensitivity. While no single food will magically regulate your insulin, incorporating these nutrient-dense options into your meals can offer additional support for your insulin management. The key is to focus on a diet full of whole, nutrient-rich foods that will fuel your body without causing the blood sugar roller coaster that processed foods often trigger. Hydration is another often overlooked aspect of managing insulin levels. Drinking enough water is crucial because dehydration can actually cause your blood sugar levels to rise. When you're dehydrated, your body has to work harder to flush out excess sugar, which can lead to higher insulin levels. Make sure to drink plenty of water throughout the day and try to avoid sugary drinks, which can cause blood sugar spikes. Herbal teas or infusions can be a great alternative to sugary beverages and also support hydration in a more health-conscious way. Staying hydrated also supports overall metabolism, so don't underestimate the power of good hydration. Sleep continues to be a key player in your insulin regulation strategy. If you're not sleeping well, you could be sabotaging all the hard work you've put into managing your insulin levels. Poor sleep leads to higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, which can make insulin resistance worse. Not only does lack of sleep disrupt insulin, but it also affects your appetite, causing you to crave high sugar, high carb foods that are difficult for your body to process. Aim for at least 7 hours of restful sleep per night. Creating a sleep routine that includes winding down before bed, avoiding screens, and keeping a cool, dark environment will help ensure your body gets the restorative sleep it needs to manage insulin effectively. If you're looking to supercharge your insulin management, consider incorporating strength training or high-intensity interval training HIIT into your exercise routine. These workouts don't just help you burn fat. They also improve insulin sensitivity. By building muscle, you increase your body's ability to utilize glucose, which means you'll require less insulin to process it. HIIT workouts, in particular, have been shown to increase insulin sensitivity more than steady-state cardio, making them an efficient way to boost fat loss and improve metabolic health in a shorter amount of time. You don't need to spend hours at the gym. A few short, intense workouts a week can have a huge impact on your insulin regulation and overall health. It's also important to manage your stress levels. Chronic stress not only elevates cortisol, but also makes insulin resistance worse, creating a vicious cycle. Finding ways to manage stress is crucial for maintaining balanced insulin levels, whether it's through meditation, deep breathing, or simply taking time to relax and unwind. Managing stress will improve your insulin sensitivity. It will also benefit your overall mental and physical well-being, making it easier for you to stick to your healthy habits. Lastly, keep in mind that everyone's body is different, and what works for one person might not work the same way for you. That's why it's so important to listen to your body and track your progress. Whether you're monitoring your blood sugar levels, keeping track of how you feel after meals, or simply paying attention to how your clothes fit, make adjustments based on what works for you. Don't get discouraged if things don't happen overnight. The goal is progress, not perfection. With consistency and patience, your body will begin to respond to the changes you've made, and you'll start seeing the results you've been waiting for. Stay focused, stay committed, and trust the process. You've got this. At this point, you may be feeling more confident about how to manage your insulin levels for better weight loss, but let's take a deeper dive into how you can fine-tune your approach and really accelerate your results. If you've been following the steps we've discussed so far, whether that's intermittent fasting, cutting back on carbs, increasing your exercise, or improving your sleep, it's important to know that consistency is key. The changes you're making to regulate your insulin levels may not show immediate results, but that doesn't mean they aren't working. Your body is adapting, and over time, you'll start to notice positive changes that will make your weight loss journey smoother and more effective. One powerful step you can take is to start incorporating more whole foods into your daily routine. The idea here is simple. The more natural your food is, the less likely it is to trigger an insulin spike. Processed foods, particularly those packed with sugar and refined carbohydrates, cause rapid increases in blood sugar, forcing your body to release more insulin. This isn't just about what you cut out of your diet, but also what you put into it. For example, when you replace processed snacks with whole foods, such as fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, you are providing your body with nutrient-dense, slow-digesting foods that help keep blood sugar levels stable. What you eat matters, but how you eat can be just as important. One of the simplest things you can do to improve your insulin sensitivity is to eat mindfully. In today's busy world, it's easy to rush through meals, eating quickly and without thinking. But when you eat too quickly, your body doesn't have enough time to send the signals that you're full, and that can lead to overeating, which in turn can lead to insulin resistance over time. Slow down. Take time to chew your food properly and focus on enjoying every bite. By doing so, you'll not only give your body the chance to properly digest and absorb nutrients, but you'll also help regulate your insulin response, making it easier to manage blood sugar levels and maintain a healthy weight. Along with mindful eating, there's something else you can add to your routine: managing your stress effectively. It might surprise you to know that stress can have a huge impact on your insulin levels. When you're stressed, your body releases the hormone cortisol, which can cause insulin resistance and increase fat storage, especially around the belly. So learning how to manage your stress is critical for not only your mental well-being, but also your physical health. There are many ways to reduce stress, from deep breathing exercises and meditation to yoga, or simply taking time each day to relax and unwind. Finding something that works for you will help keep your cortisol levels in check, and that means your insulin levels will stay more stable, making it easier to lose weight. Physical activity remains one of the most effective ways to improve insulin sensitivity. But it's not just about hitting the gym for hours at a time. Exercise doesn't have to be intense to be effective. Simple activities like walking, swimming, or cycling can do wonders for your insulin sensitivity. One of the most beneficial things about exercise is that it helps your muscles become more efficient at using glucose. This means you'll require less insulin to process the same amount of sugar, and your body will be able to burn fat more effectively. The more active you are, the better your body gets at using insulin, and this improves fat loss over time. Even if you don't have time for an hour-long workout, simply getting in 30 minutes of moderate activity a few times a week can make a huge difference. Another aspect to consider is the role of specific nutrients in improving insulin sensitivity. Certain foods are known to help balance blood sugar and keep insulin levels stable. For example, foods rich in magnesium like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and avocados have been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and help your body use insulin more effectively. Similarly, consuming adequate amounts of omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, as well as flax seeds and walnuts, can help reduce inflammation and improve metabolic health, further supporting your efforts to balance insulin. Adding these foods to your diet will not only help with insulin regulation, but they also provide essential nutrients that support your overall health. In addition to magnesium and omega-3s, incorporating spices like turmeric and cinnamon into your meals can give your insulin regulation efforts a boost. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound known for its anti-inflammatory properties, and studies have shown it can improve insulin sensitivity. Cinnamon, on the other hand, has been found to help reduce blood sugar levels and increase insulin sensitivity, making it a simple yet effective addition to your diet. Whether you sprinkle cinnamon on your oatmeal or add turmeric to your stir-fry, these small changes can have a significant impact on your insulin levels. When it comes to managing insulin resistance, one of the most important things you can do is avoid overeating, especially at night. Eating large meals too close to bedtime can cause your blood sugar levels to rise, which leads to an insulin spike. Instead, aim for lighter, balanced meals in the evening and try to give your body time to digest before heading to bed. Eating a smaller meal a few hours before sleep can prevent blood sugar fluctuations and promote better insulin sensitivity. Lastly, don't forget the importance of staying hydrated. Dehydration can cause your blood sugar levels to rise, and when your body is dehydrated, it has to work harder to process the glucose in your bloodstream. Staying hydrated helps your kidneys flush out excess sugar and keeps everything functioning properly. Water is always the best choice, but if you find it hard to stay hydrated throughout the day, try adding a splash of lemon or some cucumber slices to your water for added flavor. Herbal teas like green tea can also be a good alternative, as they've been shown to have various health benefits, including supporting insulin sensitivity. By now, you should have a solid understanding of how to manage your insulin levels and improve your weight loss efforts. The key is consistency and making small changes that add up over time. With patience, dedication, and the right approach, you'll start to see results. The journey to regulating your insulin and losing weight isn't about drastic changes or extreme diets. It's about finding a balance that works for your body and creating healthy, sustainable habits. Stay focused and trust the process. You're on the path to better health and a healthier, leaner body. As you continue your journey to better health and more effective weight loss, it's essential to focus not just on the changes you've already made, but also on maintaining consistency and staying committed to your long-term goals. By now, you've learned the importance of regulating your insulin levels, cutting back on refined carbs, practicing intermittent fasting, incorporating regular physical activity, and making mindful dietary choices. You've also seen how critical it is to get enough sleep and manage stress. But even with all this information, the key to long-term success lies in consistency, balance, and making sure you stay on track day after day. One of the most powerful tools you have in your arsenal is tracking your progress. Now, tracking doesn't mean obsessing over every single calorie or step, but it does mean paying attention to how your body is responding to the changes you've made. Whether you're tracking your weight, monitoring how your clothes fit, or keeping an eye on energy levels and moods, taking the time to track progress can help you stay motivated and see that your efforts are paying off. It's easy to get discouraged if you don't see results immediately, but small, consistent changes add up over time. If you focus too much on the scale, you might miss other signs of progress, like improved energy levels, better sleep, or reduced cravings for unhealthy foods. Beyond tracking, accountability is another key factor in staying on course. Having someone to share your journey with can make all the difference. Whether it's a friend, family member, or even an online community, having a support system helps keep you motivated, especially on the days when you feel like giving up. When you know someone else is cheering you on or counting on you, it's easier to stay disciplined. Accountability isn't just about checking in with others, though. It's about being accountable to yourself. Create personal goals and set clear intentions for your health. When you have a strong sense of purpose behind your actions, it becomes much easier to stay consistent even when challenges arise. There will be times when you face setbacks, and that's completely normal. Whether you indulge in a high-sugar treat or skip a workout, don't let those moments derail your progress. Remember, it's the long-term habits that matter most, not a single meal or a missed day of exercise. One of the best ways to bounce back from setbacks is to adopt a mindset of self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a close friend. If you fall off track, simply refocus and keep moving forward. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Another essential part of maintaining your insulin regulation and weight loss is understanding that your body's needs may change over time. What works for you now might not work the same way in the future, so it's important to remain flexible and adapt your routine as needed. For example, you may need to adjust your diet or exercise routine as your body becomes more accustomed to your new habits. As you continue to improve your insulin sensitivity and metabolism, you may find that your energy levels increase or your cravings decrease. When this happens, you might find it easier to incorporate more physical activity into your day or experiment with different types of food. The key is to listen to your body, stay aware of how you feel, and adjust accordingly. One way to ensure that your approach remains effective is by periodically reassessing your goals. Reevaluate your current routine, track how you feel, and decide if any changes are necessary. If your progress plateaus or you notice that you're no longer seeing the same results, it may be time to tweak your approach. For example, you might find that you need to change the timing of your meals or experiment with a different type of exercise. Perhaps you've been doing the same workout for a few months and your body is starting to adapt, so it's time to challenge yourself with something new. Small changes can often reignite progress, and the beauty of the strategies you've adopted is that they're flexible enough to be adjusted as you go. While it's essential to stay committed, it's just as important to give yourself grace along the way. There will be times when life gets in the way, whether it's a busy work schedule, family obligations, or other unforeseen challenges. When that happens, try not to get discouraged. The most important thing is to keep going, even if you can't stick to your plan 100%. Remember that every positive choice you make adds up. Each healthy meal, every workout, and each night of restful sleep brings you one step closer to your goals. Celebrate those small victories and focus on the positive progress you've made instead of worrying about any slip-ups. When it comes to meal planning, staying consistent means making things simple and sustainable. Rather than overloading your week with complicated recipes, focus on creating a set of go-to meals that you can easily prepare. For example, you can batch cook vegetables and lean proteins at the start of the week so you always have healthy meals on hand. This not only helps you stay on track with your nutrition, but also saves time, reducing the temptation to reach for processed foods when you're in a rush. If you need a little variety, switch things up with different spices or vegetables, but the key is to keep things simple so you can stick with it long term. Another critical part of the process is ensuring that you're getting adequate nutrition, even while managing your insulin levels. Cutting back on carbs doesn't mean cutting out entire food groups. Your body still needs nutrients from healthy fats, proteins, and fiber to stay balanced. Include plenty of leafy greens, lean proteins, and whole foods in your diet, and make sure to get enough healthy fats, such as those from avocados, olive oil, and fatty fish. Healthy fats play an important role in managing blood sugar levels and reducing inflammation, so they should never be overlooked. As you continue your journey, keep in mind that regulating insulin and losing weight is about more than just following a set of rules or hitting specific goals. It's about developing a healthy relationship with food, your body, and your overall well-being. It's about making sustainable changes that allow you to live your best, healthiest life. With the right mindset, determination, and a bit of patience, you can achieve lasting results. The road may not always be easy, but every step forward is a step toward a healthier, happier you. Stay focused, stay positive, and trust that your hard work is paying off. You've got this. As you continue to build the habits that will lead to lasting change, it's important to remember that weight loss and insulin regulation aren't just about what you cut out of your life. They're also about what you choose to add in. While it's crucial to avoid excess sugar, refined carbs, and processed foods, focusing on the positive changes you're making will keep you motivated and energized. If you've been putting in the effort, chances are you've already started to see some changes. Whether that's a boost in energy, better sleep, or just feeling more in control of your body, these early wins are a sign that you're on the right path. A key part of maintaining consistent progress is learning to listen to your body. This isn't just about tuning in to hunger cues or paying attention to your energy levels. It's also about understanding when your body needs a rest and when it's ready for a challenge. Many people make the mistake of pushing themselves too hard too quickly. When it comes to exercise, it's not always about intensity, but about consistency. You don't have to do a high-intensity workout every day to see results. Some days a brisk walk or yoga session will do just as much to boost your insulin sensitivity and overall well-being as a hard-hitting HIIT session. By listening to your body and respecting its signals, you avoid burnout and you allow yourself to recover and grow stronger. It's easy to think that weight loss and insulin regulation are just about the physical changes, but your mindset plays an equally important role. You've likely heard the term mind-mind-body connection. And it's no coincidence that people who stay positive, motivated, and focused on their goals tend to see better results. Your thoughts, emotions, and attitudes all affect your body's ability to heal and thrive. If you approach your health journey with a mindset of patience and self-compassion, you'll be more likely to stay consistent, make better choices, and maintain your progress over the long term. Staying positive doesn't mean you won't face setbacks or challenges along the way. It means understanding that those bumps in the road are a natural part of the process and that you have the power to overcome them. Another powerful way to support your insulin regulation and weight loss goals is by embracing the power of habit. If you've been consistent with your healthy routines, you've likely started to form habits that support your progress. Habits are a huge part of success. The more you practice something, the more it becomes second nature. And the beauty of habits is that they make positive changes easier over time. For example, when you've been eating balanced whole foods regularly, your cravings for processed foods naturally decrease. Or when you make it a habit to get outside for a walk every morning, it becomes a part of your routine that you don't even have to think about. Building these habits takes time and effort. But once they're ingrained in your daily life, they become a seamless part of who you are. When it comes to nutrition, it's important to think beyond just the basics of what to eat and focus on how to make your meals more enjoyable and sustainable. If you've been focusing on whole, nutrient-dense foods, chances are you've already noticed that eating healthy doesn't have to be bland or boring. There are endless ways to make your meals flavorful and satisfying while still supporting your health goals. Experiment with different herbs and spices and explore new cooking methods that bring out the best in your food. Eating healthy isn't just about fueling your body, it's also about enjoying the experience of nourishing yourself. By finding ways to make healthy eating exciting and enjoyable, you'll be more likely to stick with it in the long term. One crucial thing to keep in mind is that weight loss and insulin regulation are not linear processes. There will be times when progress feels slow, and there may even be periods when it feels like you're plateauing. This is completely normal, and it's important not to get discouraged. Weight loss is influenced by many factors, and insulin regulation doesn't happen overnight. However, even when progress isn't as fast as you'd like, every healthy choice you make is still contributing to your long-term success. Whether you're walking more, eating more vegetables, drinking more water, or getting better sleep, these habits are all working together to support your body's ability to regulate insulin and burn fat efficiently. Stay focused on your long-term goals and trust that the results will come in time. In addition to the physical changes you're making, pay attention to how your mindset and emotional well-being are evolving. It's common to tie self-worth to how your body looks or how much weight you've lost, but real progress comes when you shift your focus to how you feel, both inside and out. When you're feeling more energetic, confident, and in control of your health, those are the real victories. Weight loss is just a side effect of making healthy choices that support your overall well-being. It's about feeling good, both physically and mentally, and nurturing your body in a way that allows it to function at its best. As you continue to make progress, don't forget the power of self-reflection. Regularly take time to reflect on your journey, what's working, what's not, and what changes you may need to make. This practice of self-reflection will not only help you stay on track, but also allow you to grow and evolve as you move forward. As you reflect on your progress, take note of what's making you feel your best and what areas might need a little more attention. This continuous cycle of learning and adjusting will keep you on the path towards success, even when you face obstacles along the way. In conclusion, remember that regulating insulin and losing weight is a gradual process. It's not about perfection, but about making consistent, positive changes that support your body's natural processes. By staying committed, tracking your progress, focusing on healthy habits, and maintaining a positive mindset, you'll create a sustainable approach to health and wellness that works for you. Keep listening to your body, trust the process, and remember that every step you take is bringing you closer to the healthy, vibrant life you deserve. The results will come with time, and in the end, your journey will be one of lasting transformation. As you continue to develop your health routine and work toward your goals, it's important to recognize that success doesn't come from following a rigid set of rules. Rather, it's about finding a sustainable and flexible approach that works for you in the long term. This journey is about creating habits that support your body's natural processes while allowing you to feel good, both physically and mentally. If you've been focusing on controlling your insulin levels, managing your blood sugar, and making healthier food choices, you're already on the right track. But even with all the right strategies in place, you'll find that the real transformation begins when you learn how to adapt and stay motivated, especially when things don't go as planned. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal is the ability to reset. No one's journey is perfect, and setbacks are part of the process. The key is not to see those moments as failures, but as opportunities to learn and grow. If you slip up or face challenges that set you back, simply reset and get back to the basics. This could mean recommitting to a solid morning routine, reassessing your food choices, or refocusing on your exercise goals. The most important thing is to stay persistent and trust the process. If you keep pushing forward, you'll find that setbacks are just temporary and they don't define your overall success. Each time you pick yourself up, you strengthen your ability to stay committed, even when things feel difficult. Another important aspect of your journey is understanding the importance of a balanced approach. It's tempting to go all in, especially when you're eager to see quick results. But balance is the key to long-term success. This doesn't just apply to your diet and exercise routine, but also to your mental and emotional well-being. Stress and burnout can be huge barriers to your progress, so it's essential to create balance in every area of your life. If you push yourself too hard in one area, like exercise or restrictive dieting, you may end up feeling exhausted, frustrated, or even discouraged. Instead, aim for gradual, sustainable changes that you can maintain over time. Incorporate regular breaks, practice mindfulness, and ensure that your approach to health doesn't feel like a burden. When you find balance, you make it easier to keep going even during the toughest days. As you continue this journey, remember that patience is crucial. It's easy to feel discouraged when you don't see immediate results, especially in a world that often expects quick fixes. But the truth is that lasting change takes time. If you're focusing on insulin regulation, for example, you may not notice dramatic changes right away. Your body needs time to adjust to the new routines and to process the changes you're making. Insulin resistance can take months to improve, and weight loss may happen slowly but steadily. The key is consistency. Small, positive steps will compound over time, and the results will become more apparent as your body adapts. You won't see change overnight, but each healthy choice you make gets you closer to your goals. It's also essential to understand that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to health and weight loss. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's perfectly okay. The key is to experiment with different strategies, observe how your body responds, and adjust accordingly. For instance, some people may find intermittent fasting to be an effective way to regulate insulin and lose weight, while others may prefer a different eating pattern. Similarly, some individuals thrive on high-intensity exercise, while others see better results with gentler activities like walking, yoga, or swimming. The important thing is to find a routine that feels good for you and fits seamlessly into your life. This personalized approach not only helps you stay motivated, but also ensures that the changes you make are sustainable in the long run. One of the most powerful ways to improve your health is through the support of others. While it's great to be self-motivated, there's no harm in reaching out for help when you need it. Having a support system, whether it's a friend, family member, or online community, can make a huge difference. Not only does it help you stay accountable, but it also provides a source of encouragement when you need it most. Sometimes just knowing that someone else understands your struggles and is rooting for you can give you the strength to keep going. The emotional support and motivation you get from others can keep you focused on your goals, especially when you feel like giving up. It's important to remember that no journey is ever truly solo. Lean on those around you for support and share your victories with them, no matter how small. When it comes to your diet, remember that food should never feel like a restriction. Healthy eating is about fueling your body with the nutrients it needs to function at its best. If you've been cutting back on processed foods and refined sugars, you're already making huge strides. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy your meals. In fact, the more you learn about whole, nourishing foods, the more you'll realize just how delicious and satisfying they can be. Experiment with new ingredients, discover different ways of preparing vegetables, and find healthy swaps for your favorite treats. This approach not only makes healthy eating more enjoyable, but also helps you create long-term habits that support your insulin regulation and weight loss goals. Incorporating variety into your meals is key to keeping things exciting. When you stick to the same meals day after day, it can feel like you're stuck in a rut. But when you explore new foods and flavors, it adds an element of fun and creativity to your routine. There's no need to make every meal elaborate or time-consuming. Sometimes the simplest meals are the best. A balanced plate with plenty of vegetables, lean protein, and healthy fats will not only nourish your body, but also keep you feeling satisfied. By finding a variety of meals you love, you make it easier to stick to your healthy routine and keep your insulin levels in check. Lastly, don't forget that the journey toward better health isn't just about the end goal. It's about enjoying the process and appreciating the positive changes you're making along the way. As you continue to implement these strategies into your life, take time to acknowledge your efforts and celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Every time you make a healthier choice, you're not just working toward a physical transformation, you're building a healthier mindset and a more resilient you. Keep moving forward, stay committed, and know that every step you take is helping you create lasting health and wellness. You're doing great, and the results will follow. As you keep going, it's crucial to remember that the path to managing insulin levels and achieving lasting weight loss is not about perfection. It's about balance. If you've been following a consistent routine, you may have noticed that some days feel easier than others. This is completely normal, and it's an important part of the process. Some days you may feel energized and motivated, while other days you may feel sluggish or discouraged. These ups and downs are natural, and they don't mean you're failing. They are simply a part of the rhythm of life. The key to long-term success is not to give up when you face challenges, but to keep moving forward even if progress feels slow. If you fall off track, it's okay. What matters most is that you get back up and keep moving in the right direction. Creating lasting change is not about drastic measures or overnight transformations. It's about the small, consistent actions you take every day that add up over time. This is why the concept of sustainability is so important. If you make changes that feel restrictive or unsustainable, you'll quickly lose motivation. But when you make changes that are gradual, manageable, and enjoyable, you set yourself up for lasting success. For example, instead of committing to an extreme diet or cutting out all your favorite foods, focus on incorporating more whole foods into your meals. Gradually reduce the amount of processed foods and refined sugars, and over time, your taste buds will adjust. You'll begin to crave healthier options, and your body will thank you for the nourishment. It's also important to recognize that health is about more than just what you eat or how much you exercise. Emotional well-being plays a huge role in how your body functions, including how it manages insulin and stores fat. If you're constantly stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol that can make it harder to lose weight and regulate blood sugar. That's why it's essential to manage stress in a healthy way. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, or simply taking time to relax can significantly improve your body's ability to function properly. When you're able to keep your stress levels under control, your body can better focus on healing and recovery, which supports insulin regulation and fat loss. Many people make the mistake of trying to fix everything at once, but real change comes from taking it one step at a time. Focus on one habit, one change, or one goal at a time. Trying to do too much too quickly can lead to burnout, frustration, and disappointment. Start with small adjustments, like focusing on a healthier breakfast, cutting back on sugary snacks, or adding more movement into your day. These small wins add up over time, and eventually they become second nature. As you build on each success, you'll naturally gain the confidence to take on more. You may also notice that your body's response to certain foods changes over time. This is because as you improve your insulin sensitivity and regulate your blood sugar, your body becomes more efficient at processing nutrients. For example, you may find that you can handle small amounts of carbohydrates without experiencing blood sugar spikes or crashes. This is a sign that your body is adjusting to your healthier routine. However, it's important to remember that everyone's body is different. Just because something works for one person doesn't necessarily mean it will work for you in the exact same way. Be patient with yourself and pay attention to how your body reacts to the foods you eat and the exercise you do. The more you tune into your body, the easier it becomes to make choices that support your health. Another important aspect to consider is the role of sleep in insulin regulation and weight loss. If you're not getting enough quality sleep, your body's ability to manage insulin and regulate your metabolism can be significantly impaired. Sleep is when your body repairs itself, resets, and restores balance. Without sufficient rest, your insulin sensitivity can decrease, and your body may struggle to process glucose efficiently. This is why it's essential to prioritize sleep as part of your health routine. Aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. And if you're having trouble, consider creating a relaxing bedtime routine, reducing screen time before bed, and keeping a consistent sleep schedule. It's also important to celebrate the small victories along the way.